That's a magic number. Yes, it is. It's the magic number.
Welcome to the third episode of the Route 1 Management Interview Series. 3 is a magic number. This week, our guest, all the way from Ibiza, is Igor Marijuan. For those that don't know, Igor is a leading figure in the world of electronic music through his work as a broadcaster, music curator, DJ, event organizer, and creative director of some of the most respected radio and event brands on the island, not to mention globally. Most notably, he was the original founder of Ibiza Global Radio, and then founder and creator of the mighty Ibiza Sonica Radio. As a DJ, Igor has held residencies at Space with Carl Cox before it closed. He's held residencies at Destino with Solomon. But most recently, Igor set up Pareidolia, a unique global event concept and something that I'm sure people will be seeing a lot more of over the next coming years once we get out of the situation we're in right now. So, Igor, welcome. Good to see you.
Thank you, Matt.
Welcome from Ibiza.
Thank you. It's crazy. It's crazy to listen to you reading all these biography, and it's like, oof.
in the last interviews that we've done for this show, we started these interviews during the whole COVID scenario. So one of the first questions, what isolation has been like for you guys over there, because from what we hear, it's been a completely different scenario. So what it's been like, but what that's meant to you and how that's changed what you've been doing on a sort of day-to-day basis or weekly basis or whatever.
Isolation here is like being trapped in paradise. But not enjoying the paradise that much. I mean, yeah. I can't complain. I have a beautiful house where I live. Is not that kind of luxury villas or wherever. It's just a natural, typical Ibiza finca in the campo. Yeah. I'm very lucky for that because I arrived 20 years ago. Had the chance to get Ibiza in a really nice way where you can rent a villa for an affordable price and all these things. Yeah. So I set up myself in a beautiful location for an isolation time. In Ibiza has been really hard because this island is so related to freedom and freedom basically, and you to do what you want, to go to the beach what you want. I mean, just to do things that are related with freedom has been really, really tough to get out of here and see police everywhere. And you cannot even you're not allowed to swim on the sea. Actually, right now, today, you're not allowed to go to the beach and swim on the sea. Still. Which in Ibiza is like, again, it's like being trapped in paradise, but without enjoying the paradise.
Yeah.
So we get the time to look at ourselves, to see what we're doing, to try to learn about this, and to think and to extract every single positive thing that this moment has bring into us, not only to us, but I think to the whole humanity. In Ibiza, the last years of how has been the island, the evolution of the island, I think it's a bad thing to press the button of reset and stop a little bit the situation. It's an island, so with the good things and the bad things, and it's very difficult to control what's going on in here. And we just realized that for the last year, the way, the path that the island was taking, maybe it was not the right one. So for us, the situation of the coronavirus is going to bring the island into one season of trying to understand where we live and what we have, and try to get this in a more organic way. I think it's going to suffer economically, but at the same point, I see a lot of positive things on this, straight to the earth and straight to the island.
And do you think that, because talking about the clock resetting, do you think that things are going to go back to sort of smaller parties? Do you think there'll be more outdoors stuff as well, more kind of rusticy events rather than, because obviously a lot of the big clubs that have got the massive overheads are going to suffer. But you know, going back 10, 15 years ago, there was a lot more stuff outdoors on the beaches, in the forests, and villa parties, and all of that's obviously got swallowed up by the bigger stuff. Do you think the law's going to relax a bit because of the lack of money, and they're just going to be a bit more like, just let them get on with it? Or
Matt, I tell you, it's going to be a paradise.
Yeah.
How the government will react to this, I'm pretty sure that they're going to be more relaxing laws, and all that we need is just to take care about the island, treat the island well, be respectful, and try to enjoy it. For sure, music is related to the island and is related to all of us. We're gonna keep on enjoying playing music, dancing a little bit, but maybe in a more relaxed situation, and maybe in a more reduced situation, which is I tell you, the perfect scenario for us.
Yeah.
We just love it.
And what have you been doing? Have you been doing a lot more sort of streaming and being in the studio and planning ahead and all of that sort of thing?
Exactly. We were trying to adapt ourselves to the new normality. What's going to be the new normality from now, and try to keep up our eyes very open to what's the law situation and what we can do right now in terms of doing events. It's not clear yet when we're going to start doing events. Basically, because we can make reunions of 200 people, 400 people in an outdoor situation, but right now everyone has to be sit down. In 3 days from now, we're gonna be available. It's gonna be legal to go to the beach.
Yeah,
so it's
perfect.
Forward,
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we're doing this time of isolation, which is more than 2 months now in Spain and Ibiza, it's just again going to the studio, produce music, doing some live streams to keep active and to keep doing what we love.
Yeah.
And right now it's back to reality, back to the
earth. Yeah. I quite like the idea of sit down clubbing. I think for a certain demographic, it's quite a good idea. So Igor, it'd be really good to sort of find out about your journey. How you, because you've been in Ibiza a long time, obviously 20 years, but obviously there was a story before that. So how did you? What was your journey? Was it luck, or was it sort of how did it all pan out?
Nothing was planned, and it's about. Is what the life is you have to pay attention at what the opportunities are coming to you, and just take them. It's that easy. All that for me, if I have to look to myself and see what has been like the best choices that I took and why, it's just because I did things with love, basically. Nothing was clearly or strategically planned to develop. No, it's not my style at all. I just love music. I just get influenced by music, get relaxed, and do what I love. With Sonica, for example, is one of the things that is right now. Sonica is not having the best economical moment of its history. So it was not based on a big business model like this kind of big brands doing. It's not about money. It was about our life in Ibiza. We just want to keep on living here and doing what we love. As simple as that.
Yeah. And were you a broadcaster before you came to Ibiza? So had you already worked in radio and
radio? I was working in a national radio music, playing some pop music and this kind of radio formula where you have to play a list of tracks which is already inside
a playlist.
Yeah, like a playlist, no. And I was doing magazines on radio, and news magazines, just more like corporate radio shows. Then that was in the south of Spain, in Estepona and Malaga. We were elite, and then I just came to Ibiza for a project of doing it was a crazy project. It was in San Antonio. The place was called Coastline. It's not I don't think it's open anymore now. It's not open anymore. And my job was to make interviews of the people in the beach, and then we will play in a big screen for the sunset. It never happened.
Wow.
It never happens.
It never happened.
It never happened. It was the initial idea. Some dreamy guy saying, we want this and this and this and this and this, and okay, we need a team. And someone knows me, Igor, and you came to Ibiza to do this job. And say, wow, I'm pretty okay in Malaga, in Costa del Sol. Ibiza was something like like a really nice destination, but not that extremely good for me. I was having a good time in Malaga. Why not? And my girlfriend at that time, she was coming to Ibiza for spending some summers, and say, Igor, you have to go to Ibiza. You will love Ibiza. Okay. Work, becoming a DJ. You like electronic music. Come on, this is your
home,
your mecca. You go, just try it.
Yeah.
I came here to Ibiza just to try and just accept this job. That it was a disaster. It never happens. I never have a microphone. I never did any interview. It was not ready in the beginning. Even the building was not built yet. I just arrived here, tried to set up everything, and say, okay, they give me a car, they give me time, and okay, you have to look for places to make the interviews. You have to know Ibiza very well. So it was me with my paneo, with a lot of people, with a car, driving around the island and trying to discover new beaches for in the future, bringing some cameras and making some interviews. Wow.
Amazing. So that was really good research for what you moved on to do after, obviously.
That was my first season here.
Yeah.
Super crazy because they put me in the job. It was included a house, a villa where I live with my friends, and they pay for this villa with the because they wanted to use this villa for this guy for his lover.
Okay.
So they put us in amnesia in the VIP all night because it was super crazy. Summer.
Amazing.
And then I had the chance to meet the people from Cadena 100 Radio, Juan Tur and all the family, and it was just a fantastic time. That then I decided to move in the winter time to really make a proper job of what I was doing. We was to become a radio presenter.
Yeah.
And after Cadena 100 it was global, and then I created Sonica, and it happens.
Amazing. So what? Because I think you guys have got a really unique sound. I mean, Sonica, you have all sorts of stuff. You have the kind of experimental show. You've got the club bit. You've got the sort of beach sunset style, but predominantly you've got the kind of deep Ibiza groovy sound that sounds great when you're driving, from Ibiza town to San Antonio in your taxi or your car, or just that real sort of vibey sound. How would you? I mean, it's really difficult to describe that sound. How would you? Can you describe it? Is it sort of something you can?
Actually, it's over the years. We were trying always to bring our own sound, but following what's going on in the music industry.
Mm-hmm.
I remember in the first year of Global Sonica, it was the tribal thing. Everything was super percussive, and so we tried to find inside this specific style or genre of fashion the sound that fits better with Sonica. Then it becomes minimal. Minimal everywhere. You can listen to Ricardo Villalobos' track in the beach. So it was like minimal everywhere. It was a version of minimal. Then we keep what is going on right now in the music industry is the minimal. Okay, let's try to adapt the most beautiful and mellow and soft minimal side to our style. Right now it's the same. Right now we feel like it looks like there is nothing in the middle. Everything is like super mellow or super hard. So we try to bring the influence of this sound into our own style. the goal here, I mean, we're not doing anything hard or difficult. The ones that they're doing the job really are the producers. So we need to respect, and we need to clearly say that the ones that they're doing the bad job and the hard job here are the producers.
I think the sound, the kind of sounds that you were describing, where you guys fit in the middle, I think when you know, because obviously I don't live in Ibiza, but I come as a visitor, and I think when you hear that style of music outside amongst, like, you know, similar to the background you've got there amongst the trees and nature and the birds and the sea and all of that, there's just something about that juxtaposition of that electronic minimal sound with nature just works. It's just it's magic, really.
It's magic, and it's a casualty, because those producers maybe are in a super small studio somewhere in Tel Aviv, Israel, or they work in a really small city in UK, or they work just in mainland in a small studio room built by themselves with zero inspiration. I mean, the inspiration is maybe it's just about pictures and videos on things that we are living their lives.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to say, but we are the smiling faces, playing the music of the guys that they really need the respect, and they really need that's the reason why we try to support them as much as possible. But it's not easy. I'm not bringing here any solution. I'm just saying that, hey, the music is made by one guy.
Yeah.
It's really hard, and it just for nothing. It's a hard life what the DJs have. But what I'm saying, and I totally agree. And a producer is a producer. Maybe it's super difficult for a producer to go in front of the people and perform. And you know, and even for the DJ, for me, I'm starting to produce now.
Yeah.
After 20 years, I'm starting to get deep into the machines, and I'm working with people because I cannot do it on my own.
Yeah. And
that's the reason I understand. Wow, this is incredibly difficult. It's two universes.
We're going to ask you to choose 3 tracks to play during the interview, which is always really hard. With
very
very difficult. I know, it's like I said to the other guests.
For me, it's impossible. For 3 tracks in my life, 3 tracks.
Yeah.
No, don't do this to me.
I know. Sorry, deliberately difficult. So the first one we're going to ask you is going back to what we were talking about a couple of minutes ago. You know, the sound and that side of things. What track should we listen to now that kind of defines that sound for you?
Again, it's super difficult for me to choose one track. I will not choose one track. I have to choose 24 hours just to try to describe what represents, because it's super difficult to represent. No, I like a track to be emotional, to be melodic, to be nice and easy to listen. So I just choose one of the tracks of this guy, which is just doing amazing. Everything that he does is just amazing. Is RYX, the track Coven.
Oh yes.
He just put this track on free download, actually.
Okay.
On his SoundCloud.
Okay. He's going to get a lot of people now going onto that, I hope.
Thanks for the present.
Yeah.
But again, this goes back to the cost to the price to the value of making music, no?
Yeah.
This track for me just represents a small piece of what I'm living right now in terms of how a track brings you emotion, vocals, feelings.
Great. Okay. Well, look, let's have a listen to that. We'll play that now. Okay, that was thanks for that, Igor. That was a really good track. It's a very sort of deep and haunting, nice vocal. I totally get where you're coming from with that track. Lovely choice. But you've got 2 more coming, so. So look, going back to Ibiza and stuff. What I know we kind of covered it a bit at the start of the interview, but. I mean, what I was going to ask you is where you think Ibiza's going next. So I think we've talked about that. But what about sort of electronic music in general? What do you think? What do you think's around the corner for electronic music? Do you think it's going to go a bit more underground again, or what?
It's just getting better and better.
Yeah.
It was a few years ago. It was a problem with the electronic music because everything was super. I mean, it was like EDM and underground. No? It's always the same discussion, no?
Yeah.
Problem with this is both universe were happening in the same places, but it's completely different crowd. One crowd they went there for the show, and the other crowd went there for the music and the feeling.
Yeah,
completely different. One kind of crowd is more about having fun, showing off, no matter who is playing. you don't know.
Yeah.
And just want to recognize songs and sing them.
Yeah.
They listen on the radio.
Yeah.
And the other one, they want to get surprised by DJs with emotions. It's less social. It's more focused on the DJ, and they know every single movement, labels, tracks, and everything. So both universe, they were sharing the same place, which is the DJ booth and the dance floor.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I feel it's much more disconnected. If you go to a club where it's reggaeton going on, you will not stay there at all. If you're electronic music lover, and opposite, if some people just go for fun or for socialize or whatever, they will not go straight to an underground party. So the way that these two worlds are being getting more separate and independent is a really good thing. So I feel right now with the excessive with big ways of getting information about music, I feel that the people are understanding much better what their tastes are like. No? If, for example, I see right now how the kids are reacting to the new social media activities like TikTok and things like this, and you see that the music is pretty important for them. And it's super difficult to make a forecasting here, right? Especially on the times of coronavirus. But I feel really positive about the electronic music. It's always a new style coming. It's always refreshing. No matter if we're talking about Balearic, which is closer to what you do, Matt. Again, there are like younger generations doing an amazing, refreshing Balearic sound. If we're talking about house music, it's the 21st century house music is getting there. We're talking about deep. We're talking about techno. Always there is a new generation refreshing the styles, the genres.
Let's move on to Burning Man.
Go there.
How long have you been?
Once we land there, it's difficult to take me out from there.
Okay.
It's gonna be the rest of the interview.
Oh, we're done. We should have done this bit at the end then. So how long have you been doing Burning Man now?
5 years.
Great. So what's it like for you? How would you sum up the experience of
changed my life.
Yeah.
Changed my life in a really good way and a really hard way. It changed a lot to me, no? After traveling all these years to go to festivals, to go to events, to meet people, it's like, okay, again, it sounds exotic, but it's again like the same structure all the time. Go to plane, listen to music, go to hotel, have dinner with the promoters, play there, haha, thank you, bye-bye, hotel, and fly back. Sounds exotic, but it could be hard. It's amazing, but it could be like very kind of repetition, no? You meet fantastic people and all that stuff. When you get to Burning Man, you understand that it's not a festival, it's not an event, even it's not it's just a completely different thing, and it's super difficult to describe. I'm not gonna say everyone has to go to Burning Man, and I don't think Burning Man is for everyone. Burning Man is a ephemeral city which is built in the most hostile place in the world, which is a desert in Nevada. Nevada is one of the worst I tell you, one of the worst states in the whole North America.
In what respect?
Capital death, prostitution,
right,
casinos, weapons stores everywhere, racism. It's a disaster. It's like the worst of the human.
The Wild West.
Wild West. Very bad. That's the reason why they decide to do, okay, let's go to the worst. Let's go to the worst place in the world. Let's go to the most hostile, which is extremely hot at day and extremely cold at night.
That is mad.
Sandstorms, no resources, nothing. And let's try to build up a civilization right there. So we came here. Let's think about this. We just born in a default world. We cannot choose it. It's default.
Yeah.
It will depend on how your parents were doing. You're gonna get more opportunities or not, which is completely unfair. And also the situation right now with to being from the left of the right to being the democracy or the anarchy or the communism, or it's just a 2,000 years old inventions. Not more than this. If you compare this with the human being on Earth, it's nothing.
Yeah. It's a blip.
It's just nothing.
Yeah.
But we are so used to that. You have to work. You have to work for a salary. You spend your money on having a good time, on vacations. You have to marry at that time. You have to. I mean, it's just everything super tight and structured. Then we can choose that maybe I'm not sure, but maybe there is another way of living. Maybe the cities are a mistake. Maybe we're created, like designed for living in small tribes and small groups of people that help each other, and they have like a common interest, that they express the creativity, and they are not receiving toxicity from this default world. So these guys from Burning Man, they create like a new way of people interacting with each other based off 10 principles that is good to follow, not only in Burning Man, but everywhere in the world. And they create an ephemeral city that is built and destroyed in about 7-8 days. It changed my life, because when you get there, it's just to understand that the human being has a really amazing. That has to be.
Yeah.
They has
I
like
got it.
all the human beings. We have a baby inside. We have a big hurt inside. We can, no matter how naughty, how bad you are, when you are surrounded by love and art and celebration, if you get deep into that, you will change your mentality in seconds.
Yeah. And
you will become a better person. So the principles of Burning Man are super amazing for every kind of meeting. No, it's all about love, gifting, celebration, being yourself, including others. All this merge into a celebration of an ephemeral city in a week. It's just amazing.
Do you think it's sustainable as well to do that? To have communities like that, but not just for 9 days or 7 days or whatever, but just, I know there are some places in the world where there are communities like that, but do you think that whole thing's sustainable?
Is what you see about Burning Man is the reflection of the default world about what's going on there.
Yeah.
So all that you see is just amazing models in Instagram taking pictures with them semi-naked on things like. But this is just a reflection of what's going on there. It's not a festival. It's not music all the time. It's just a big way of showing happiness and art and creativity.
Yeah.
So if it's sustainable or not that way, because again, it's surrounded by the default world.
Yeah. Surrounded
by toxicity and things like this. To apply this to the whole world, I mean, that's a bigger conversation.
Yeah.
because if you see for example, Africa is one of the continents that has more resources, but look look the way they live. It's just because someone is taking advantage of it's that's a huge conversation actually.
We could do a whole interview on that one. So I wanted to ask you about your most memorable DJing moment, real standout moment, which might be a Burning Man experience, I don't know, but what is your most memorable DJing crowd experience that you've had in your career?
It will sound bad if I say that every single moment that I play is special, and it's very difficult for me to choose one of those moments, because I can remember amazing times, no matter if it's 4 or 5 friends in a house or 15,000 in a big festival. Every single moment that you connect with the people is just special. If I have to choose one for the memories, Burning Man has bringing me amazing moments of sunrises and things like this, but maybe not those moments that you expect. Like, for example, Robot Heart is a bus that it's just an amazing camp, and it was like super in shock to play for Robot Heart. But again, this, because you have this expectation when you play there, it's like, okay, I did it, it's amazing, but it's not that it's not getting close to the expectations that you had. And at the same time, you're playing for a friends in a tent or whatever, and you're like, wow, this is amazing. So Burning Man is very difficult to choose one of the moments in Burning Man. Burning Man for me has been changing a lot the way that I play, because no matter how many people are there, it's just the quality of the people and the way that the people are receiving the information that you're giving to them, no? But if I have to choose one of these moments, I will not go to Burning Man. I think one of the moments that more reflects something weird and something at the same time amazing that happened in my career, I will choose the very, very, very closing of space.
Okay.
The initial idea was to play for 30 minutes each DJ, like 30 minutes. It was like I can't remember the name, but like for example, 50 or 70 DJs playing in this long, amazing, very, very, very final closing of space ever. So they choose the people that have this relation with the space, all the DJs from people from Ibiza, internationals, and everything. And the idea was to play 30 minutes each. I started to play at 3 a.m. in a small terrace El Salon, which was very, very similar to the old space terrace.
Yeah.
We have the memories in the 2000 where this carry on in bed with the space and all these big. You remember those parties? It was outdoor, very, very pretty similar scenario. It was the El Salon right now. It's a smaller size, but pretty similar idea. So I started playing at 3 a.m. I was supposed to finish at 3:30, but no one came after me.
Lucky.
Very lucky. Very, very lucky.
What time did you finish?
Like 12 a.m. 12 p.m.
12 p.m.
12 p.m.
Yeah, lunchtime.
Yeah, lunch. So no one came after me, and then I just realized that it was okay. It's not 30 minutes. It's a little bit more. Okay, it's not 1 hour. Okay, it's not 3 hours. Okay, it's not 5 hours. Then sunrise, and I keep on playing.
Oh, magic.
So this opportunity of playing like 7-8 hours, I can't remember how many hours I played there, but this opportunity to play for that long in that situation with all my friends there, playing like super random, because I didn't prepare. I just lucky me, I have a lot of music in my sticks, and I can just change from one playlist to the other, and I play a mix which was completely my classics, not the classics, the Night of the Hour of the Plastic Dreams. No, I didn't play any of those tracks. Any of those, because everyone were playing.
Fantastic.
As you can figure, I play what for me has been like my special tunes. Some of people they know them, some of the people not, but the atmosphere that was created in that moment was completely unbelievable.
I bet, amazing. And so, for your second track, what track reminds you the most of that night, or that morning rather?
Maybe morning. It was the moment that it was the sunrise going, the first sunshines getting into this terrace, and I could see the people finally, because it was a little bit dark in the night, and then when the light of the sun came to Ibiza, it was reminding me why I fell in love with the island.
Yeah.
I didn't see any destroyed face or super druggy or ugly. I just see the face of the people, and everyone was super smiling, super relaxed.
Yeah. Brilliant, perfect. So what's the track? What's the track that you're going to play then that sort of brings back that memory?
I will choose Matthias, Matty Heilbronn track.
Oh yeah, very good track. Okay, let's have a listen.
And very housey, and it was the track that sounded in that morning.
It's a very good feel-good track, this one. So let's have a listen to this now then.
Keep on moving. 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 Keep on. Keep on moving.
Brilliant. Yeah, another great track. It's a very nice vibe. I can imagine
the situation, no?
I can imagine everyone dancing to that one. So let's talk about how you select your music. I think that's always quite interesting to know, with there being so much music out there. Have you got a system for creating music and finding music? And
in producing or
well, more in DJing actually.
DJing.
You know.
Yeah, I receive promos.
Yeah.
And direct promos from promo tools and direct mails from producers that send me before it's even even released, no? So I got all the mail for promos, and I spend like maybe 3 days a week of listening to the promos, giving real feedbacks. Like if I don't like the track, I say it's not my cup of tea. If I like it, I just try to make it as much professional as possible. It's not easy because I receive much more that I can dig. It's impossible to guess how many. If I show you right now the folder of how many mails I have in my inbox about promo, is 18,000 mails right now without being open of promos to listen. 18,000 today, yeah.
And do you have someone that helps you with that, or do you do all of that yourself?
No, my own. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
It's impossible. I mean, I know some of the DJs they do, but I need to do it by my own.
It's a personal thing, yeah.
It's a personal thing.
Yeah, yeah.
A filter.
Yeah, that's a lot of unanswered emails you've got there. I don't envy you. You've got a busy weekend ahead of you.
With 80,000, can you imagine? No, it's impossible to dig everything. So for me, it's very important the way that they put the way that the mail is rejected, the the promo tool that they're using, the cover, the album. This is the first filter. If I read something like sexy or bomb or anthem or whatever, I will not open even the mail.
Yeah. Right.
So okay. First impression is super important, how it's presented.
Well, that's a good little tip for promo companies there.
Don't put sexy.
Yeah, don't put.
If you put the word sexy, it's not for me.
It's done. Yeah, delete. So, just kind of a changing the subject slightly again. How would you describe Ibiza to someone that is, and there aren't many of these people, but how would you describe Ibiza to someone that's never heard of Ibiza or been to Ibiza? Like an alien's just come down from a planet. How would you describe it?
it's not easy because it's an island on islands.
Mm-hmm.
It's the island of islands. I think you can live a very different Ibiza feeling. It depends on you, how you are. It's not about the island. The island is what it is, but it is. You can find many things in this small piece of rock in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea.
Yeah.
So much going on here. So if you can go to the, let's call it hippie. You can go to more into this kind of a mystery special place which go to the north and is very, very authentic and very virgin still, or you can go to the south coast of which is more posh or more Instagram pictures. I mean, there are many islands inside, so it will depend who is with you and what's your situation. Even you being you can live two different experiences if you came into Ibiza in two different moments of the year. I mean, it's quite difficult to describe how is Ibiza because it will depend on how are you.
Yeah. No, that's an interesting answer. Yeah. And what record for your final song choice? What record reminds you of Ibiza more than any other?
Because I have a lot of experience, nice experience and nice memories, and the way that I remember Ibiza in a way is about enjoying playing music with my friends.
Yeah. And so what track really sums that up that we can play next? You know, that reminds you of those moments.
I would choose Grooveyard, 7 Miles.
Okay, amazing.
I think Grooveyard is a techno band actually. I think there's a techno producer. I haven't heard more music from I don't know who is even Grooveyard.
He's a guy from Jestofunk, isn't he? Jestofunk they made a big mid-tempo Balearic track years ago, I think, but
I haven't heard much more about this.
Okay, let's have a listen. We'll play that now.
This track for me is super for me and for my friends are super special.
Oh, is it? Brilliant. Okay, let's have a listen now. Okay, yeah, no, that's another great song. Love that one. So let's talk about what you've got coming up now then, Igor, more importantly. So Pareidolia, what's the... I know that's been going a few years now, but you're probably at the start of the journey still. What's the plan with that, and what's that all about?
To keep it like this as much time as possible. Again, we are not in a rush. We don't want to become like a big promoter. So no, it's not our idea. We just want to do things that people enjoy, and we make this for the people and for us at the same time. Right now we are integrating some things into the Pareidolia, which are more into get deeper into the healthy situation. This midpoint of the excess of going out and drink and dance at the same time to start in a healthy way. We spoke about this before,
yes.
No?
Yeah.
So we did an event before the coronavirus arrived. We did an event in Aubergine in an amazing countryside restaurant in Ibiza. So we start with a workshop of conscious listening, playing sitar, and try to understand how to listen to music. Then we did a yoga class. Then we start playing some ambient music with sitar, and then Aubergine brings amazing food for the people. Which was a gastronomic experience as well. And then you just suddenly after meal we start dancing, and it ends in a really amazing party. So our idea is like to spend a day with your family in a free entrance place, hopefully transform it into a Pareidolia world. Pareidolia means when you see faces. No, it's a distortion of your mind when you see faces. You put music, you can start looking at it and you seeing happy faces everywhere.
Yeah,
it's what we're trying to bring happiness into the music and into a complete experience day, which brings you the opportunity to dance with your family, with your song, with your grandmother, and it happens.
Yeah, amazing.
And it happens. So our idea right now is to keep our projects of doing Pareidolia in different locations in the world, but also in Ibiza start as soon as possible with doing.
Well, we'll try and get you to the UK as quickly as possible when this is all over.
We never did a Pareidolia there. So
we're working on it.
Super.
So finally, one of the things that we've asked all the guests on this show is for 3 bits of advice. So we've asked you for 3 tracks, which you've kindly chosen, and but it would be great if you could give 3 bits of advice for anybody that wants to get into the world of broadcasting, DJing, living in Ibiza, whatever, anything around this world that we're involved in of music and events and programming and What advice would you give? What 3 bits of advice would you give?
3 bits of advice. First of all, I will choose authenticity. Be authentic.
Yeah.
I will say also be dreamy. Dream loud.
Yeah.
And dream strong. And why not?
Absolutely.
If it's what you like, just go for it. Just go for it. And do it with love.
Yeah.
Love and respect. I think is a very topical message to do things with love and to be authentic and to follow your dream and don't be afraid of dreaming. But at least this is. I'm being really honest with this with advices. If you do things with love, if you follow your dreams without any barrier or limitation, and you are honest with yourself, doing what you are, being who you are, it's going to be my advice.
Yeah. No, really.
To add.
Wise words. Yeah, really wise words. Wise words. So, well, that's it. Igor, it's really, really a great pleasure to chat to you. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people here who wish they were where you are right now, but hey, soon. Igor, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Matt. It's been a lovely interview. Thanks so much.
Speak soon.
Thank you.
No more, no less. That's a magic number.